time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game. Come on!
Oh, we got football tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear what I just said? Chiefs, Ravens, week 1 officially starts tonight, 5:20 Pacific time. The rematch of the AFC Championship will officially kick off this NFL season. And you made it. You did it. It was very difficult the last 6 months, 7 months to just not be able to watch NFL football. But we're here, and we got Mahomes, we got Lamar, we got Kelsey, we got Andrews, we got Harbaugh, we've got Reed. And I'm so excited. I'm also excited because we had a little breaking news last night. I was fast asleep. I was night-night. But at 10:24 p.m., Jeff Passan, ESPN, reporting third baseman Matt Chapman and the San Francisco Giants are in an agreement on a 6-year, $150 million contract extension. Sources tell ESPN wipes out the final 2 years of his current deal and keeps Chapman from opting out. All right. So Matt Chapman, who this season's batting .247, has a .333 on base percentage. But we don't really do that anymore. We look at WAR. All right. And right now, and if you go to FWAR, the Fangraphs WAR, he ranks 13th in baseball. 4.5 wins above replacement. For those of you who don't know, and if you've been living under a rock during this WAR era, he's right behind Yordan Alvarez. Now you might say, he's not better than Yordan Alvarez. He's not on his level. Well, offensively, that may be true, but you can't look at it that way. This is a move that takes into account the entirety of a player. This is a signing that takes into the account the entirety of a player. Offensively, he's actually been pretty good. Been one of your best, if not the best, power hitter on the team. And defensively, you know what you're getting. You're getting a platinum glove. You're getting the best glove in the game. Also, in the clubhouse, you're getting a leader. You're getting a guy that leads by example. You're getting a guy that brings confidence to his pitching staff, that brings confidence to the young guys that you're trying to develop within the infield. That's what he does, and that's what this move signifies to me. Now, it signifies to others potentially that you extend Matt Chapman 6 years, $151 million. Does that mean Farhan still has major say in this roster, and does that mean he's staying? I think that's what a lot of Giants fans felt after they saw this. Like, whoa. We're doing all these deals now? Is Farhan, should he even be doing this, considering where the team's at, as they fall yesterday to the Arizona Diamondbacks 6-4. Diamondbacks improved to 18 games over 500 at 79-61. Giants fall to 68-72. It's basically, it's night-night for them. They're done. I don't want to hear the math is still there, Guru, Steiny. The math is not there. They're done. Stick a fork in them. Cooked. Zach Gallen had 6 no-hit innings yesterday. Hayden Birdsong couldn't last 4 innings. He went 3, gave up 3 hits, 5 walks, 2 earned runs. Did have 4 strikeouts. But he looks gassed. How are we feeling about this move, Giants fans? 888-957-9570. I've liked the Matt Chapman addition. I thought it was going to be a good one. He's clearly been the best player on the Giants this season outside of Elliot Ramos, Blake Snell, and Logan Webb. He's been the most consistent, I would say. You know what you're getting. You're going to get some streakiness. Again, he's batting .247, 90 runs, 69 RBIs. Nice. 13 stolen bases. And I told you that. That was a pregame show exclusive. I told you he could steal more. And he's been doing that this year. Can he finish with 20? We'll see. But yeah, .333 on base percentage, slugging .445, 778 OPS, 121 OPS plus. Shout out Baseball Reference. That's what he's doing this year. Now, is that worth $150 million? I actually think it is. 250 hitters. This is the thing. We've gotten so accustomed to just, the average. Oh, no, it's so low. You can't pay someone like that. The game's changed. And I get it. Hitting for average is still sexy. I'm not saying it's not. And there's still something to be said about it. Bobby Witt Jr., batting like 340. It's unbelievable. You got your Luis Arias's. You have guys that are going to hit for average still. Not saying it doesn't matter. But when you look at a guy like Matt Chapman, it's more than just the batting average. It used to be at 250 was an average hitter. That's above average now. He's an above average hitter. And at least when it comes to the home run ball, he has 22 right now. That's a great sign. Now, can he continue doing that? Is he going to end up being a Hall of Famer like Dave Fleming said on our station last week? I love you, Dave. I don't know about that. He's a one-time All-Star, multi-time Platinum Glove winner, 4-time Gold Glove winner, one of the best at his position. And when you have one of the best at your position, defensively, you got to keep that guy. And if you're not going to keep him, then who are you going to keep? Right? Like, that's the thing here. Matt Chapman wanted to stay in the Bay Area. He loved his time with the A's. He didn't want to leave them, but we know what's going on with the A's. It's a dumpster fire. You had to. Him, Simeon, Olsen, Murphy, they all had to go. It's just a sign of the times. Shout out Harry Styles. But Chapman was on our airwaves with Bonte, with Chasky earlier in the season. And he says he loves San Francisco. He loves this city. He embraces it. He's a quiet guy. And you know what? Sometimes quiet's good. I know for the Giants right now, they need some face. And I'm not saying Matt Chapman is the face of this team. I'm not saying that at all. Yes, I would love Aaron Judge. I would love Shohei Ohtani. I would love Mike Trout. Hurt a lot. But yes, you would still like one of those faces. You're building something, though. What it is, I'm not sure. But I know that Elliot Ramos is a player. Hopefully, Tyler Fitzgerald is a player. I know Logan Webb is a player. Harrison and Birdsong? I'm not sure yet. I know Blake Snell's a beast, but he can opt out. I know Robbie Ray, when he's on, is a beast. He gone probably, right? So I look at this move as a necessary move for the San Francisco Giants. They had to make this move. They had to extend someone, and Matt Chapman's the guy. And I don't think $150 million is going to be the end-all, be-all. I don't. How long is he here? 2030 now? Is that what that is? 2030. Man. And he's going to be what? How old is Matt Chapman? He's 31. It's going to be 37 by this thing's over. Maybe it doesn't age great. But last couple of years of a contract, you can always get out of. What does Bonte like to say? There's always a sucker out there. There's always a sucker. Or you just cut him. This isn't like there's a cap or anything, a dead cap hit for Matt Chapman. So that's the biggest news. If you're just waking up, if you're just getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for school, getting ready to do whatever it is that you do, I appreciate you joining me here, Joe Spadoni, on the pregame show, 888-957-9570. That's the number to get involved via call or text the Xfinity mobile text line. Also hit us up on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube, all powered by First NorCal Credit Union. And shout out to everyone that attended the summit yesterday. That was awesome. Enjoyed watching Dibbs, Mark, Chasky, Bonte, Steiny, Goo. Looked like everyone had a good time. Saw Lolo there. That was fun. Got the headset on. Lo! And by the way, Lo Neal, Evan Giddings, yeah, they got you locked and loaded for the Red and Gold pregame show. Not the pregame show, Sam Lubin. The Red and Gold pregame show. Big distinction. Every Sunday or before game. I think it's only Sundays. And then join Mark Grandy, Sterling Bennett, and the return of Kyle freaking Madsen, baby, to the 95.7 The Game airwaves. That's going to be the Red and Gold post-game show. So we got the pregame show, got the post-game show, and we're crushing it. No, you don't want to go anywhere else during the season for 49ers talk. I'll tell you that right now. First and foremost, you got me. I'm the first voice you hear on that, well, it's going to be Tuesday morning, I'm going to be the one breaking it all down for you. It's going to be a Niners win. It's going to be a Jets win. We'll see. I'm very interested to see how this game plays out. Very interested. I don't foresee a blowout happening one way or the other. But something tells me this Jets team, I don't know what it is, they're going to be good. They're going to be very good. And you know what else is really good? That we have a part of our team now at 95.7 The Game, and I was listening to him yesterday, and I was like, whoa, I used to hear this guy a lot elsewhere on other airwaves around the Bay Area. But now he's with us. Now he's our teammate. That's Greg freaking Cosell, one of the best in the business, if not the best, at breaking down film better than anyone. And yes, Baldy's, he's in his own tier. He's like the Chiefs. Baldy's, he's the Kansas City Chiefs when it comes to the breakdowns. He's his own guy. But Greg Cosell, pretty freaking good too. And he's been doing it for a very, very long time. And he joined Willard and Dibbs yesterday, courtesy of the River Islands guest line. You can find that entire interview on the Xfinity mobile, not the Xfinity mobile app, on the Odyssey app, which is free. Download it. Favorite 95.7 The Game and thousands of other stations. Also, you can find all of our interviews on our YouTube page. Search 95.7 The Game, like and subscribe there. Greg Cosell, Willard and Dibbs yesterday, breaking down everything. First and foremost, how significant is it for the 49ers to have Trent Williams back?
Oh, it's significant for a number of reasons. And we can start again. You guys know that all I do is study tape. So let's look at it both from a passing game and a running game perspective. From a running game perspective, what you get is the fact that he gives you mobility on the edge. So their run game can be so much more diverse, multiple, because of his ability to work to the edge. He looks like a running back when he moves. And that's the critical piece in the run game, is it gives them so much more multiplicity. In the passing game, what you have to think about with the passing game is this. In the NFL, what is the most important down? It's third down. If your offensive tackles cannot protect one-on-one on the edge, then your whole passing game changes, because that means you have to keep in a back and or a tight end, not only maybe as a primary pass protector, but to chip. And that changes the route concepts. All offensive coordinators want to send 5 eligible receivers out. Trent Williams can block anybody one-on-one, and that allows the 49ers passing game to be as multiple as it can be, and that's what Kyle Shanahan wants.
Trent Williams gives security and a sense of calmness for that offense. Specifically for the quarterback, though. That's the most important part. I need my quarterback's mentals to be okay heading into week 1. And what better way to do that than to have big Trent Williams, future Hall of Famer, best left tackle in the league? Absolutely. Absolutely. Greg Cosell, you study the tape. Any chance that Trent Williams is going to show any signs of slowing down?
No. Do guys get beat once in a while? Of course they do. It's the NFL. You're playing against great players on a weekly basis. But no, overall, and I've watched every game for years and years and years and years, I would say that no, last year was not a case where I felt like, man, Trent Williams is really slowing down. So, of course, he's missed time now. We'll see. Don't forget, he's still older, and it is week 1, and we can certainly talk about the Jets because they've got a really, really good front six, and they put a lot of pressure on you.
They do. No Hassan Reddick, though. I am happy about that if I'm a 49ers fan. No Hassan Reddick. Hasn't reported. He's kind of the last guy that's holding out. I mean, you got the Jamar Chase thing going on. He reported to practice. He's holding in. Interested to see what happens there. I know Joe Burrow signed his fat contract. He's different, though. He was also practicing with the team. It was late into the, off season, if you will. But you got to get that done for the Bengals. Joe Burrow needs his number 1 guy. Yeah, T. Higgins, he's a nice, he's fine. I think we called him, he's a very good player. T. Higgins is probably like a top 25, top 30 wide receiver in the game. Jamar Chase is a top 5 wide receiver in the game. You need him. You're not going anywhere in that conference and in that division without Jamar Chase. So you got to get that done. All right. I just love listening to Greg Cosell, by the way. It's so refreshing, and it's just the sign that the football season's here. When we got film breakdown, when we got player breakdown, we got offensive line play breakdown, and that's not everyone's cup of tea, which is fine. But why I appreciate Greg Cosell is he does try to break it down and explain things as he goes along to someone that, might be new or someone that isn't quite familiar with some of the terminology. He'll try to dumb it down for all of us. When I say dumb it down, for him and his level, he's watches this film all the time. So he sees things that, hell, I don't even see sometimes. And I've been watching football for 26, 27 years. But it's not like I'm an automatic expert on the X's and O's and the 21 personnel and the 11 personnel, the 2 tight end sets, all this sort of stuff. I know some things about it, but like most of you who probably played Madden or ESPN 2K5 like me, still the greatest sports video game of all time. T.O. on the cover with the Eagles, $20 at then EB Games. I miss EB Games. Electronic Boutique, baby. Way better than GameStop. And GameStop took it over. I digress. But I appreciate Greg Cosell trying to explain this to me like I'm 5, like I'm Michael Scott. And he does it just better than everyone else. Speaking of that offensive line, Greg, Dominic Puni, you like what you see out of the rookie?
Yeah, he was very impressive on tape in college. So, we'll see how he does. He's still a rookie. He's one of those guys that strikes me that he'll just be a really solid player. McKivitz, he to me is a little bit of a question. I remember watching him coming out of West Virginia. I think he struggles at times in one-on-one pass protection. And as I said, that can be a concern in the pass game, particularly on third down. But obviously he's going to be the starting right tackle. He did that all of last season. He had some tough moments at times. So we'll see. So the right side, look, any rookie is a work in progress, and McKivitz can have some issues in pass protection. So we'll see how it goes. But I think from center to the left side, I think that's a really, really solid O-line.
Colton McKivitz, is he the weak link on this 49ers offense? 888-957-9570. Is there a spot where you do not feel comfortable with this 49ers team? As we are in week 1 officially tonight. Week 1 has officially started. It's today. Chiefs, Ravens. And it's going to wrap up with Jets, Niners on Monday night. How we feeling, 49ers fans? What's the biggest strength? What's the biggest weakness on this squad? 888-957-9570. It could be players, it could be coaches, it could be whatever you want it to be. It could be the stadium. I don't know. What is it? Biggest strengths, biggest weakness on this San Francisco 49ers team. 888-957-9570. Now we get to the quarterback and Brock Purdy. And this is really where I appreciate breakdowns from guys like Greg Cosell. He sees things that these quarterbacks, are looking at every single week when it comes to game planning, when it comes to preparation, when it comes to scheme, when it comes to audibling. Greg Cosell picks up on the subtle nuances that some of us aren't able to pick up. And Brock Purdy is the kind of quarterback that, again, he's not going to dazzle you with the lasers like Mahomes, like Josh Allen, like Jordan Love. That's not his game. Now, I do think his arm strength is a little bit underrated. I don't think he throws noodle balls out there occasionally. If it's wet and rainy, I don't feel great about that. I think he's kind of shown that maybe he's not a bad weather quarterback. But he does have some razzle dazzle and some dimes that would be like, whoa, how did he do that? Because you look at his size and you look at the stature, although he's got a big lower half, he's bulked up a little bit, but it's the height. It always goes back to the height. It's why we slept on Drew Brees for a little bit. It's why we slept on Russell Wilson for a little bit. It's why we're sleeping on Brock Purdy, but even more so because he was Mr. Irrelevant. And that's still the name that he has to just, get over. Although he's making it his own. By the way, you guys see Brock Purdy in the Applebee's commercial? How are we feeling about that? I'm not mad at the hustle. Handing it off to Saquon. It's all Dan Campbell. Okay. Look at Brock getting after it. He's getting all those big commercials. Applebee's trying to make a comeback, huh? I'm not mad at Applebee's. God, I can't remember the last time I've had an Applebee's. Jeez. They still got their cheap margaritas? I'm mad at that. Greg Cosell, what are the 2 things that Brock Purdy does really well?
Brock Purdy does 2 things exceptionally well that were very hard to see coming out of college, because the college game, he really didn't need to do those things. Number 1, and this is really, really impressive, is he is so good responding in half a second, and that may be too long, responding to late coverage rotation, to when a defense disguises coverage and they move at the snap of the ball and the coverage changes. He sees that instantly, picks it up, and knows exactly where to go with the football. Secondly, he has unbelievable anticipation. You don't have to make a lot of those kinds of throws in college football, but he is just a master at being able to throw the ball very often before receivers break. He has a great feel for zone windows and where do you throw the ball. Everybody thinks about playmaking at the quarterback position as being guys who can run around. Playmaking at the quarterback position is also about throwing the ball with tremendous anticipation. Now, you made the point about system. Every quarterback runs a system. That's not a negative. Executing the system at a high level is not a negative statement.
It's a very interesting last point that Greg Cosell just made, and I think it always comes back to this in the system quarterback and Kyle Shanahan, and Shanahan able to coach Jimmy Garoppolo all the way to a Super Bowl and come close to beating the Chiefs. Now, I know Jimmy Garoppolo is not a very good quarterback, at least he isn't now. Maybe he was for the 49ers. Maybe he just was good. And we just try to say he was very good, and that was the product of the system. Is Brock Purdy a product of the system, or is he elevating the system? You know, it's very different. Because I've seen so many quarterbacks now in the red and gold, in the Kyle Shanahan offense, he looks different. He looks better. And that, to me, shows that he elevates it. With his IQ, as Greg Cosell put it, with his anticipation. Yes, and also with his legs a little bit. That's another thing that I think is completely underrated. He finds a way to just scamper out of trouble and anticipate that pressure better than any other quarterback in the Kyle Shanahan system. Better than Trey Lance, better than Jimmy Garoppolo, better than Nick Mullins, better than CJ Beathard, better than Brian Hoyer, better than, Matt Ryan, who had a pretty damn good career, but he was a stiff back there. It's okay to say that Brock Purdy's best attributes aren't physical skill sets. You would like it to be both, but that's not always the case. It's very rare to get Patrick Mahomes. He's one of one. It's rare to get the strength, size, the mentals, anticipate, all of that, all into one. The greatest quarterback of all time wasn't athletic. Tom Brady. Now, he was big. I do think people sleep on just how large of a human Tom Brady is. He's a big guy, 6'3", 6'4", and he had a really good arm. His arm got stronger as he got older. TB12 method, avocado toast. Eat your spinach. What is it that he doesn't like? He doesn't eat something weird. He doesn't eat tomatoes or red fruits or something like that. He said he doesn't eat. I need to look into it. If anyone's got the TB12 method, let me know. But Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, wasn't athletic, but got away with a lot because of his poise, his anticipation, the recognizing of defenses. And Tom Brady, I do think, and it's going to be interesting to hear him over this weekend with Kevin Burkhardt, calling, who is it? Browns, Cowboys. That'll be interesting. I'm going to be locked and loaded on that. Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott. How's Tom going to do in his debut? Very interested. But he played in an era where there was a lot of hard hits, where the defensive receiver thing, that wasn't a thing in the first half of his career. I do think we are a little jaded with Tom Brady saying, oh, well, all these rules that came after his injury and all the protecting of the quarterback, all this sort of stuff. Yeah, but he played a whole decade before that. He was playing against Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, those Steelers defenses with Joey Porter, Troy Polamalu, Ryan Clark. They're trying to destroy you. He played against those guys. He played against great Indianapolis Colts defenses. He played against some of those Raiders defenses. Well, he probably should have lost one of them. The Tuck rule. But What made him great in all those games was recognizing the defense. And I know we hate the term, taking what the defense gives you, but it's more than that. And it's the same with Brock Purdy. It's taking what the defense gives you, but then making them pay for it. You got to make the defense pay. And I saw that a lot last year with Brock Purdy when they just couldn't get him down, when they had him in the grasp and he just slipped out of there real quick. Or he stepped up in the pocket at the right part or the right time and just delivered a dime over the middle to Ayuk, to Debo, to Kittle. Time in and time out, I saw that. We saw it a little bit with Jimmy Garoppolo, but not to this extent. Brock Purdy elevates this system. He's not a product of this system. Greg Cosell and why people question Brock's ability.
The reason I imagine the people that have questions about him, and look, he's only played 2 years, but the reason I'm sure they do is because he's not as big as you like. He doesn't have a power arm. He doesn't have a gun. He has way better mobility than people might think, and we've seen that a number of times, but he just knows how to play the position innately. Those are traits, too. People lose sight of what I spoke about earlier and what he's really good at. Those are traits. Everybody thinks of traits being, oh, he can run around, or man, he's got a big arm and can throw it hard. The quarterback position is a very nuanced, subtle, detailed position, and Purdy is really, really good at those elements of the position.
That's Greg Cosell, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be joining Willard and Dibbs every single week, breaking down all the film, what he sees from the 49ers, from around the league. Cannot freaking wait for that. Greg Cosell, I got his sound, baby. I can listen to this guy talk football all day long. 888-957-9570. We're going to continue to discuss week 1 in the NFL. I want to get some to over-unders. Not with the 49ers. We got tomorrow to do that with 49ers stuff. I'm going around the league here. You want to do some division winners? You want to do that? And then maybe, yes, because it is, week 1 tonight, I'll give my Super Bowl prediction prior to the end of the show. I will. I know you're all on the edge of your seats. Last year, it was Niners-Jets. I got half of it right. And the other half, well, that lasted a couple plays. So we'll get into that on the other side. 888-957-9570. I'd love to hear your Super Bowl predictions as well. Why not? Tonight's week 1. It starts after tomorrow. The Ravens or the Chiefs will have a win or a loss. Or there could be a tie, I guess. You gotta give me your Super Bowl predictions today. Because today it starts, baby. We're locked and loaded. Football season's back on the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
eBay Motors is here for the ride.
It's the pregame show with Spadoni, my homies, yeah.
Damn right it is. One segment down, 2 more to go. Pregame show, rolling on. We got football tonight, people. And for those of you who are just waking up, just, a little groggy-eyed and you missed the news that happened last night, Matt Chapman, San Francisco Giants, agreed on a 6-year, $151 million contract extension, wipes out the final 2 years of his current deal and keeps Chapman from opting out. Chapman will be a San Francisco Giant, well, at least under contract, until 2030. So Chapman gets rewarded there. Big news for the Giants, although they take another L yesterday and their season is teetering on just night-night. And it probably already was, right, when you didn't really do anything at the deadline. But when you get 6 no-hit innings from Zach Gallen yesterday, you have a fake comeback in the 9th. It's tough. It's tough. All right. We got NFL football. And let's do this. How about we're going to do some awards. Award season. We want to do that. Some of the awards. You can MVP. You can do some other stuff. Let's see what we got here. Let's start with the MVP. Because tonight's week 1. Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. 2 guys at the top of the MVP list, right? Well, Lamar won it last year. And the current favorite right now, and this is going to be all via DraftKings, Patrick Mahomes at plus 475 to win it. Right behind him, CJ Stroud, plus 800. Josh Allen, plus 900. Joe Burrow, plus 950. Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Lamar, Tua, Stafford, Trevor Lawrence, and it goes on and on and on. All right. Maybe I can get a bed for this. Maybe I can. Let's see. Let's see if I can get a bed going over here. And I'm going to put Sam Lubman on the spot to pop me down for a little bit because I want a bed. So let me do this as I ramble here for about 2 minutes. It's all right. It's going to play. It's a long one. But we need the music. If we don't do the music, is any of this even real? Thank you. Sammy. Sam. Oh, he's locked in with Joe Shasta. You guys hear me right now. Pot down 7 hotkey a little bit so I can just let this bed fade. Because Joe Shasky, is any of this even real if we don't have the NFL and primetime music? If we're doing awards season right now, is any of this even real?
I'm on the board. It's dangerous.
Oh, he's on the board. It's dangerous. So pop down that little Studio 7 hotkey a little bit. You see it over there, Sammy? Help him out. You see it over there, Joe? It says Studio 7.
Sam, you need to come over here and you need to help me out. Sam, I'm looking at you.
Let's pot it down.
I'm literally being dead serious.
Joe Shasky's on the board. No. Lower. Thank you. That's all I needed. Appreciate it. See, I actually don't ask a lot because Sam already helps me out in the morning. I usually don't do this, but at the old studio, at the old building, I had all this at my fingertips. I had faders. I had everything. I don't have that now. I have Joe Shasky help me out. And I'm not going to ask Joe Shasky to give his predictions because he's going to do that the morning roast. Bonta Hill, Joe Shasky, they're locked and loaded. Did a hell of a job yesterday at Fremont Bank with the Warriors Red and Gold Summit. It was tremendous. Find that entire summit on our YouTube page or on the Odyssey app. It is free. All right, my regular season MVP. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers. I'm really bullish on the New York Jets this year. Coming off an Achilles. What? I think the Jets are going to win that division. I think they're going to go 13-4, and Aaron Rodgers is going to win an MVP. But you know what that means. Whenever Aaron Rodgers wins an MVP, they're not winning anything else. That's what he does. He's captain regular season at this point.
Is he the greatest regular season quarterback ever?
No, it's Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, he had what, 4, 5? Like Peyton Manning was unstoppable in the regular season. The only problem was whenever you get to the playoffs, he'd lose to, I don't know, this guy named Tom Brady.
The only thing that could take Peyton outdoors and weather.
Brock Purdy too. We don't want to talk about that though. We don't want to talk about that. He's a little young. I'll give just the
He's got cowboy boot sponsorships now.
He's got Applebee's.
Ready to saddle up.
Hey, Joe, he's with Applebee's now. He's big time. Him, Dan Campbell, Saquon Barkley. It's big time. All right, let's go offensive rookie of the year. I mean, come on. If I think the Chicago Bears got action to potentially knock off a team like the Niners, I said that last week with Joe Shasky. I think he kind of rolled his eyes a little bit. It's Caleb Williams. It's the favorite.
Xavier Worthy?
No, not Xavier Worthy. Not, honestly, I think a guy that could be sneakily, like not even sneakily because he's just a beast. He was the best player in college football is Brock Bowers. I just think it's really hard when you have all these different quarterbacks. We saw this with Kyler Murray and Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs had a better rookie season offensively than Kyler Murray. But Kyler Murray's a quarterback, and he's the number 1 overall pick. There's a bias there. I get it. I'm going Caleb. Let's go defensive rookie of the year. All right. Got a lot of guys here to choose from. I'm going to go, and I really like this guy coming out. I'm going Terrion Arnold. I think that's a huge addition for the Detroit Lions. He's at plus 1,200 right now. Again, this is all via DraftKings. I like him to win it. I think he's going to be a massive boost for that Detroit secondary, who was not very good last year. They have Aiden Hutchinson. They need someone on the back end to shut things down. I think it's going to be Terrion Arnold. Let me move on. Offensive player of the year.
Pony is going to be rookie of the year.
Please. Come on. If Quentin Nelson didn't win it, no offensive rookie's going to win it, right? Offensive lineman. Like, he should have won it that year, probably. Offensive player of the year, so basically the best player that's not a quarterback on offense. That's basically what it is at this point. You got Tyreek Hill, you got Christian McCaffrey, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Jamar Chase. You got Justin Jefferson. I'm going to go Saquon Barkley of the Philadelphia Eagles. I think is going to be the offensive player of the year. He's going to have a resurgence out in Philly. He's going to be dynamic. Him, Jalen Hurts, that run game, it's going to be special. I don't know if they're going to make a deep run into the playoffs. They will make the playoffs, but I like Saquon Barkley going out there and balling out. Offensive player of the year. All right,
Joey, did you hear that sound?
No.
It was Joe Fortenbaugh punching air right now as a Penn State Eagle fan.
I like how you're whispering. You can speak up louder if you want. You can pot yourself up there.
No, I like sports whisper. It's like a new thing. Like, I get in your head, Purdy, you got to hit CMC on the drag route.
Thank you. He's like, you're like, who's Mike Ruiz with the Levitard Show? You're my guy over there? There you go.
Let me get you in the ear. Whisper something that you might like to hear.
Speaking of which,
Purdy hit the guy in the clear.
Speaking of which, that wasn't bad. I'll give you a 4 for that. Stu Gatz, today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Stu
Tomorrow.
Gatz?
Yeah.
Oh, big Jets fan. I can't wait for that. Tomorrow. Oh, by the way, tomorrow we got all the 95.7 The Game listeners that won the contest, Breakfast with the Roast, coming in studio, about 20 people. I always get really awkward at those things. I'm not going to lie. I get very awkward. Defensive player of the year. This is going to be a very interesting one. Nick Bosa won it 2 years ago. Myles Garrett last year. The favorites right now, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons, then you got Max Crosby. I think this is the year Micah Parsons wins it. I like Micah a lot this year. He does a lot of talking. I get it. And it's the Cowboys, and it's just... I think Micah wins it this year. In a year that the Dallas Cowboys don't go to the playoffs, Micah Parsons wins DPOY.
My sleeper is Kyle Hamilton.
I'm not mad at that. Let me see where he's at on here, Kyle Hamilton.
I bet he's not even on the list.
Yeah, I see Pat Surtain. I see Dexter Lawrence. I see Trayvon. Yeah, you got to go down there. He's probably at plus like 15,000. Yeah, I don't mind that one. He was everywhere in that 49ers Christmas game, Joe Chasky. Like literally everywhere you be, the camera panned, he was flashing on the field. All right, wrap it up. Coach of the year. I guess you got to go with the team. It's always expectations, right, versus reality. Jim Harbaugh, maybe. I just don't think the Chargers are going to be a playoff team this year. I think they're like 8-9. I think it's them. The Raiders are going to be pretty mediocre. Maybe the Broncos win a game here or there. Like, Eberflus seems like he's the favorite to win it. I know
with
that
the rebrand on the facial hair and the hair.
It looks good. The beard, it's working for him. It looks great. He looked really
like the best rebrand since Travis King went from rapper to cowboy.
Comeback player of the year. I'm not going to go Aaron Rodgers because he's going to win the MVP. I'm not going to go Nick Chubb. I'm not going to go Anthony Richardson. I'm going with, sneakily, I think Sam Darnold has a shot to win comeback player of the year. Joe Shasky, you rolled your eyes. Kevin O'Connell finds a way to get the best out of his quarterbacks. He did it with the Pasternaut last year. Hell, Nick Mullins got a win against the Raiders last year in a 3-0 win, by the way. It was one of the worst games of the year. Defensive struggle.
Here's the over-under. 11.5, as in over or under Darnold starts this year. 11.5.
Who else do they got? Nick Mullins?
Darnold.
JJ McCarthy's gone.
I'm taking the under.
Okay. Sam Darnold, comeback player of the year. You heard it here. And we'll wait for the Super Bowl matchup. I know you're all waiting for it. We're up against it. We'll do that on the other side. Plus division winners. We'll do that here on the pregame show. One more segment before handing it off to Bonta Hill and Joe Shasky. Pregame show rolls on 95.7 The Game.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for $12.
listening to the Pregame Show on 95.7 The Game.
We're back. One more segment here on the Pregame Show. Joe Spadoni before handing off to Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky. Thank you, Joe Shasky, for being a tremendous producer last segment. So this is what I have. I got Aaron Rodgers winning the MVP. As it is week 1 tonight, we're doing all of our awards. We're doing my Super Bowl prediction. People want to do that tomorrow, that's fine, but I like to do it before any games. Before I've seen the Chiefs. Hey, something catastrophic could happen tonight. I don't want that to happen. I don't want any major player to be out for the year. That would suck, but that could happen. We saw that with Aaron Rodgers last year. That absolutely could happen. But that's why you got to make these predictions before tonight's game, because stuff changes. S happens. So, Aaron Rodgers winning the MVP. Caleb winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. I got Terrion Arnold winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. I've got Saquon Barkley winning my Offensive Player of the Year. I've got, who did I pick? Micah Parsons. God, see, I'm rolling through it. Micah Parsons, DPOI. Eberflus Coach of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year. I want Sam Darnold. Why not? Why not? Just for fun. Fight on. I am just so looking forward to tonight. I'm not a fan of the Ravens or the Chiefs. I'm a fan of football. I'm a fan of just getting into that mindset. Because not only do we have football tonight, we got Brazil. Not football, but Brazil football. Eagles, Packers, which has huge ramifications for the 49ers, because those are the two teams that a lot of people are saying will give the 49ers their best chance at maybe not reaching the promised land again. Maybe they're the biggest reasons why they don't. Obviously, lump in the Lions there. If you want to lump in the Cowboys, I don't think the Cowboys will make the playoffs, personally. Which leads me to this. We're going to go division by division. All right? NFL playoffs. All right. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go division by division, and I'm going to give you the teams I think are going to win said division first. Then we can do our wild cards. Sound good? Get it? Got it? Good. So there's 7 teams now that make it in each thing. Obviously, only one gets the bye. The rest play each other. All right? Here we go. AFC East, we'll start there. I like the Jets to win that division. Jets, Jets. I know a lot of people like the Dolphins. They're going to be very good. I think the Jets will be better. I think the defense is going to be the difference in that. And I just trust Aaron Rodgers, even coming off an Achilles, more than I trust Tua Tagovailoa. AFC West. I mean, do I really even need to say that? All right, come on. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are winning that division. It's not going to be close. Chargers, we'll see. Harbaugh wins a lot. This first season is going to be tough. Maybe they sneak in to the playoffs. I just don't see it happening. I think they have 8-9, 7-10 written all over them. I think the Raiders, same thing, 7-10, 8-9, maybe 6-11. Broncos, maybe they're slightly improved, same thing, 6, 7, 8 wins. They're all going to be kind of lumped together. I think they're going to kind of beat each other up. But the Chiefs will end up winning 12, 13 games like they do. Even last year they didn't, but they'll find a way to get in, and that's all that matters if you're Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. So Chiefs will win the AFC West. AFC North, this is the one that's interesting. Theoretically, any of these teams can win it. And you can say, oh, theoretically, any of the teams can. No. Like, this is a true, if Russell Wilson all of a sudden looks like Russell Wilson of old, which I don't see happening, maybe they do have a shot, the Steelers. But I don't see that happen. Deshaun Watson and the Browns, I need to see it. I mean, Joe Flacco looked better than him. He's 50 years old. Cincinnati Bengals. If Joe Burrow stays healthy, yes, they are winning that division. Can he stay healthy this season? I say yes. So I like the Bengals to beat out the Ravens for the AFC North title. Even though the Ravens are the favorites, they got the MVP. They've got a coach with a Super Bowl. They've got a tight end. I like Zay Flowers. I like that defense. The defense did lose Patrick Queen. I'm not sleeping on that. They were talking about Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith being right up there with Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. That's a big loss for that defense. I like the Bengals. All right. AFC South. This is going to be a fun one too. Texans, Colts, Jaguars. I don't think the Colts are there yet. Anthony Richardson, I got to see it. Titans, I like Will Levis. I got to see more. It's going to be the Jaguars and the Texans. Trevor Lawrence just got paid. CJ Stroud's going to get paid even after that one rookie season. Absolutely. Guy was an MVP candidate for a lot of last year as a rookie. It's unbelievable. His touchdown interception ratio was tremendous. Tremendous. I like the Jaguars to bounce back this year, though. I think the Texans take a slight step back. I think everyone's high on them. I get it. Maybe a sophomore slump for Stroud. Maybe a slight one. I like the Jaguars to win that AFC South outright. So we got Jets in the East, Chiefs in the West. We've got Bengals in the North, and we got the Jags in the AFC South. Flipping it over to the National Football Conference, or the NFC for those of you who don't know. NFC East. We'll start there. We'll finish with the NFC West last. But the NFC East, you got the Cowboys, you got the Giants, you got the Eagles, you got the Commanders. Commanders, they're just trying to, get Jane Daniels to be that guy. Cliff Kingsbury, their offensive coordinator. Obviously, you brought in our guy Dan Quinn, formerly of the Atlanta Falcons, and has been the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys last few seasons. But Dan Quinn, now the head coach over in Washington. I think they'll be better. I don't think they're a playoff team. Then you got the Giants. I think they're going to be a dumpster fire. I think Brian Daboll's days potentially could be numbered. I think Malik Neighbors will look nice. I think he'll be very good. But you got Daniel Jones as your quarterback. That's a recipe for disaster. They are going to be one of the players for Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, potentially Miller Moss next season. Cowboys. I do not like the vibes around the Cowboys at all this year. The Jerry Jones spectacle, if you will, is always at an all-time high, but too much talking from the owner. Dak Prescott's not going to get a contract there. I think this is his last season there. I think Mike McCarthy's last season there. I think they are a dumpster fire, potentially. They're on dumpster fire notice. I need to get a sound for that, just like Flames, a dumpster fire notice. That's what I'm going to do. That's what the Cowboys are potentially this year. I do not think they make the playoffs. So then I got the Eagles. That's the only team that remains. They should. They have the most talent, top to bottom. They added Saquon Barkley. Howie Roseman did his thing, wheeling and dealing in the draft. Cooper DeJean, very high on, coming out of Iowa. I like the Eagles in that division. NFC North. Talk about another bloodbath. Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings. Give me the Lions. I know it's not sexy. I think the Bears potentially could push them. I think the Packers could. Vikings will win some games within that division. But ultimately, it's the Lions who retained all their players, who believe in their quarterback, who believe in their defensive end. Terrion Arnold, I think if he has the year, I think he can. As Defensive Rookie of the Year, that Lions team is going to be even more improved defensively. I like the Lions to win that. And then the NFC South, boy. I mean, could be anyone but the Panthers. Anyone. But I'm going to trust my guy and our guy here at 95.7 The Game. And I was high on Baker last year. I thought he was going to be the comeback player of the year last year. I said that at the start of the season 1 year ago today. And I stood by it all season long. I mean, Baker was in that conversation every single year. They were a playoff team. They knocked out the defending NFC Championship Philadelphia Eagles at home. I'm very high on the Buccaneers this year. I think they win that division. I think they take it over the Falcons. Saints, Dennis Allen, Derek Carr. I don't need to see any more of that. I don't. So I got my division winners there. We're up against it. I got a minute left. I guess if you're rounding out the rest of the playoff teams in the NFC. And yeah, sorry. Did I not mention the NFC West? I didn't. Excuse me. It's the 49ers. It's not the Rams. It's not the Cardinals. It's not the Seahawks. The Niners are winning the West. It's going to be close, but they'll win the West. I think it takes them 13 games to do so. So 13-4 for the 49ers this year, which I believe would be their over. Is it 12.5? I think they hit the over this year. I think a lot of people are scared about them. I'll wait and see. But for now, taking the Niners. I like the Rams to make the playoffs as well within that division. And then I like the Bears and the Packers to make that. So 3 teams from the NFC North are going to be in the playoffs, I believe. Lions, Packers, Bears. Then you got the Bucks, you got the Niners, Rams, and you got the Eagles. AFC side, Dolphins, Jets, Chiefs, Ravens, Bengals, Jaguars. Texans sneak in there. They sneak in there. So there you go. And my Super Bowl pick, as I do my drum roll here. Chiefs, Eagles. Yeah, I think that's going to happen again. Again. I like the Chiefs. I like the Eagles. Pelt me with your tomatoes and your lettuce, San Francisco Bay Area fans. I'm sorry. That's going to be my Super Bowl prediction. But good thing is, my Super Bowl prediction last year, only half was true. So maybe only half is true this year when it's the Chiefs. Like last year, half was true with the Niners and the Jets. Only the Niners made it. So we'll see. Let's see what Bonte and Joe Shasky have in store next. That's coming up on 95.7.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM.